He's going to win this fight by knockout. You would think I'm absolutely crazy, right? But the thing is, it can happen. 10-ounce gloves, heavyweight, Jake Paul can punch hard.
Hasn't made too many mistakes so far. So it got my attention. It got Teddy's attention. He's been growing. He's been growing in the ring. He's been growing outside the ring.
Jake Paul enters training camp fully focused on his upcoming fight with Anthony Joshua. In sparring sessions, he impresses by knocking out heavyweight Greg Hardy, signaling his increasing power. Coach Larry Wade notes that Paul isn't just going through the motions, he's dominating his sparring. He emphasizes that Jake's partners aren't just any big man. He's working with top-level heavyweights who challenge him to elevate his performance.
Dominated from day one with heavyweights, and I don't mean just random heavyweights. I mean heavyweights that are ranked in the top 25, if not top 15 in the world.
Reports and footage highlight Jake Paul sparring with elite heavyweights, pushing him to adapt to high-level competition. While Anthony Joshua's past opponents, like Alexander Usyk, were proven heavyweights testing him at the sport's pinnacle, Jake's training partners are carefully chosen to simulate similar challenges. This approach helps him refine timing, sharpen power, and build confidence ahead of the big fight.
Being dwarfed by these way bigger heavyweights like Jared Anderson, Frank Sanchez, and Lawrence Okolie. Okolie is like 6'4.5", 6'5", and these guys are like 6'3", 6'4", probably. So now Jake Paul is the one that's smaller. So first of all, I will give credit to Jake Paul. Clearly, he's a person who is taking his career seriously. These are quality sparring. I mean, a real boxer, because people say he's not a real boxer, but a real boxer would be using the same guys in their sparring camp. In fact, I just told you Joshua used Lawrence Okolie. I don't know if he sparred with Anderson or Frank Sanchez, but these are all regular ranked heavyweight. So credit to Jake Paul for that. And I mean, he's gonna need it. Joshua is a different breed to, like, you know, a Mike Perry when it comes to boxing. Different frame, different size. In case you didn't believe me, right? Jake Paul, this is what MVP Promotions posted. So Jake Paul top sparring, right? Heavyweights. And here's some pictures of Joshua with Lawrence Okolie. And again, Joshua, a big dude, but you see Lawrence Okolie, and he probably was cruiserweight back then. I mean, I don't know exactly when this picture was taken, but he's only like an inch shorter than Anthony Joshua. And now, as he's moved up to the full heavyweight, he has filled out more. You see, he looks even bigger than when he was a cruiserweight. Now, I gotta research it, but I want to say I thought Lawrence Okolie was injured, but again, I'm not as...
The sparring clip showing Jake Paul dropping a heavyweight created excitement, but also sparked debate online. Many question whether the knockdown truly reflected Jake's power. On X, a user named Tammy claimed the moment was staged, suggesting the fighter took a check to fake the fall. Her comment shifted the conversation, as fans argued over the authenticity of the knockdown. Another user, Tun Marino, noted, "Is that Greg Hardy? If so, that explains it. Dude's got a magnet for a chin," highlighting the perceived toughness of the opponent and adding fuel to the discussion. Fans dissected every detail, from technique to durability, turning a simple sparring moment into a heated debate. Boxing analyst Tony Jeff has tracked Jake Paul's progress over the years and acknowledges a significant improvement he's made since his early fights. Jake has clearly developed skill and capability, surpassing expectations for someone new to the sport. However, Jeff cautions that facing a world-class heavyweight like Anthony Joshua represents a challenge far beyond anything Jake has encountered. While Jake's growth is evident, the technical skill, power, and experience of an elite champion may push him to his limits, highlighting just how difficult the matchup truly is.
years old. If you look at history over time, a lot of heavyweights seem to prime as they get older. Now, a problem for Anthony Joshua is his activity. He's only fought twice in 2 years, and one of them he got knocked out off Daniel Dubois. That was his last fight, and a lot of people say you can only judge a fighter's quality from their last fight. And then the fight before that was a win, but it was a win against Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou, if you know, he was the UFC heavyweight who's not a real boxer, and he only had one fight before that boxing fight, what he lost as well. So that's his activity in boxing. Now, Jake Paul, on the other hand, looking at his box rec, he's had 6 fights since 2023, and one of them was against Mike Tyson. But we all seen what happened in that fight. Mike Tyson was well past his prime. Where Anthony Joshua, on the other hand, is, but I'm not going to say he's coming into his prime, because he had some great wins earlier on in his career before he lost to Usyk twice. And by the way, when he did lose to Usyk, the last one was a split decision. It was a pretty close fight. So now this fight is matched, and I just want to look at the tail of the tape. Now, looking at the age difference, we've got 28 years old compared to 36 years old. So I guess the advantage there goes a little bit towards Jake Paul. 28-year-old is better than a 36-year-old. But that being said, we've got talking about experience and everything else, what comes with being 36 years old at Anthony Joshua's level. And then, like I mentioned, the heavyweights kind of seem to prime a little bit older. They'll come down to the height and the weight. This is the big one. 6'1" versus 6'6". 200 pounds versus 252 pounds. We got a 252 pounder in Anthony Joshua. The reach advantage is a lot, which we would expect. Amateur fights, we can see that Jake's only had one, where AJ's had 43, but 43 of them are included at the highest level, Olympic level. And yes, he won the Olympic bloody gold medal, if I don't need to remind you. Now, the pro record, Jake Paul has had 13 fights, lost 1. AJ has had 28 fights, and he's lost 4 with 25 KOs. And the one person that Jake Paul lost to was Tommy Fury. Now, can we compare Tommy Fury with Anthony Joshua? Not at all. It's like night and day. So now I'm going to talk about the rules of this fight, and I'll give you my prediction, which is going to shock a lot of people after this. So, what are the rules? The bout will take place at a heavyweight, obviously. It's going to be 8 3-minute rounds. You might think, well, that's better for Jake Paul, and I'm thinking, not really. It's better for Anthony Joshua, because he's just going to go on.
Renowned trainer Teddy Atlas has weighed in on Jake Paul's mindset ahead of his fight with Anthony Joshua. Atlas observed that Paul exhibits remarkable self-confidence, and taking on such a high-profile opponent reflected genuine effort to develop his skills. Rather than seeing it as detrimental boxing, Atlas believes Jake is bringing creativity and attention to the sport, potentially drawing in new audiences. He praises Paul for using this opportunity to challenge himself and grow as a boxer, pushing boundaries while demonstrating a serious commitment to improvement. By stepping up to face a legitimate heavyweight, Jake signals both ambition and a desire to evolve within boxing, qualities that Atlas respects despite the inherent risks.
Too many mistakes so far. So it got my attention. It got Teddy's attention. He's been growing. He's been growing in the ring. He's been growing outside the ring. He's been growing in confidence. I think that in the Canelo situation, that didn't happen. He was ready to do that. I think if anything else, if nothing else, he's showing you that he truly is believing in himself. And that, you know, he's been a work in progress. He still is. And he's showing you, he's putting his money where his mouth is. Everyone's calling for him to do this, to do that. And, you know, he's always had the advantage with guys that weren't real fighters. They were fighters, they were older fighters, they were MMA fighters, they were this, they were that. They were smaller, they were older. Now he's taking a guy that's bigger, older, but bigger. A real, can't debate if he's a fighter. 2-time heavyweight champ. Coming off, but he's a smart son of a gun. He's a gutsy son of a gun. I always stood up for him because everyone was saying he was hurting the sport. He wasn't hurting the sport. In some ways, he was bringing interest in a different way to the sport. But he, you know, and he built something. He was smart. He built something that was creative. That took a mind, it took guts, it took a gamble.
Boxing commentator Pat Brown offers a sobering perspective on Jake Paul's upcoming fight. Brown emphasizes that this matchup represents a completely different challenge for Paul, one that tests both physical and mental limits. He points out that previous opponents may not have matched Joshua's skill, experience, or intensity, and that facing a top-tier heavyweight demands far more preparation and resilience. Brown stresses that mistakes in this fight carry serious consequences, not just for performance but for safety. Unlike typical media-driven spectacles, this is a genuine contest against a fighter whose career has been forged entirely at the elite level.
That doesn't look like a 6'2" man there. Obviously AJ's 6'6" and he's a big bloke, but I thought Jake Paul would have been a bit bigger than that, to be fair. Yeah, this is what I mean. It's he's going to realise this is the pain business. Seriously, there's levels to this game, and you know, it's good in a way because it will shut up a lot of people thinking you can just put a pair of boxing gloves on and go to the top. However, I do respect Jake Paul to an extent because he has dedicated his life to it, and you know, he's doing it the right way. He's making good money, but I do think he's done a tremendous leap too far here, and this is where you can get hurt big time, especially against AJ. You know, he's been carrying British boxing on his shoulders for many years, and he's...
Professional fighter Lamont Roach describes Jake Paul's decision to take on this fight as bold, even bordering on risky, while recognizing the strategic reasoning behind it. From a financial standpoint, Roach explains, the move could be highly rewarding if executed wisely. He notes that although Paul is entering unfamiliar territory against a skilled and powerful opponent, he has the ability to hold his own for several rounds and potentially make certain phases of the fight competitive. Roach emphasizes that the decision appears calculated, showing that Paul is aware of both the risks and rewards. This combination of courage and financial foresight makes the matchup a noteworthy gamble, reflecting both ambition and a savvy understanding of the boxing business.
Excuse me. My first thoughts was this guy's crazy. Not gonna lie. But I get it. Coming from a guy who's not a true traditional boxer, and to be able to have a position where he can fight a former unified world champion, former Olympic gold medalist, and to do it on such a stage where Anthony Joshua was a superstar as well. I mean, like, he sold out the O2, you know, twice. Absolutely. I think. So, you know, I think Jake is setting himself up for, you know, a huge spectacle, and which is, you know, kind of smart. If you're gonna go big, why not go to the highest, like the highest of the mountain? Why not? And I get it. That's what you call business right there. And I've seen a lot of guys calling them out, from like Gabe to, you know, other guys who are boxers. Yeah, like guys who actually beat them. But why would he settle for those guys when he could fight Anthony Joshua? So I think that's, you know, I think that's smart. I think that's super smart.
Smart is one thing. What do you think happens in the ring, though, champ?
I think he gets hurt, for sure. I think he gets obliterated. Something close to like Francis Ngannou. I think something like that happens, and it's going to be bad for him. But there will be a lot of viewers. There will be a lot of viewers, and
legendary boxer Nigel Benn has voiced concerns about the growing influence of entertainment-driven bouts on professional boxing. Ben argues that when celebrities or social media personalities step into the ring, traditional fighters who have dedicated their lives to the sport often miss out on the financial recognition they deserve. He points out the stark pay disparity. Crossover events featuring high-profile personalities can generate massive revenue, while established professionals frequently earn far less despite years of disciplined training and competitive experience. Ben stresses that such matchups can create an imbalance in the sport, shifting attention from career athletes to spectacle-driven narratives. His observations raise critical questions about the long-term impact of social media fighters on boxing's financial and competitive landscape.
Mr. Anthony Joshua and Jake.
No. I'm not even really entertaining that. It's just not. Being a two-time heavyweight champion of the world,
I don't know, YouTubers. I'm not really into all them influencers coming in there, and it's like some boxers that really work their butt off, don't get paid like what these guys are getting. And Anthony Joshua being a former world champion should be fighting like, someone in the top 5, top 10. So I ain't really got much time to talk about that. Not interested, really.
Bad for boxing?
Well, not bad for boxing. If people want to pay to watch it, then, who am I? I'm just giving you my opinion. Who's not worked his way through the ranks to earn that shot at the former world champion?
A sizable segment of boxing fans has expressed strong reservations about the potential Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul matchup. Critics argue that matching a seasoned heavyweight champion with a social media personality who lacks a traditional professional record risks undermining the sport's integrity. Many view it as an extreme example of boxing shifting towards spectacle, where viral attention and entertainment value take precedence over skill, fairness, and competitive merit. Observers have also highlighted the real dangers of Paul, noting that facing an elite heavyweight like Joshua could carry serious consequences. The overall sentiment among fans is clear. While Paul has shown growth in his abilities, the risk of being outmatched by a true professional heavyweight remains substantial.
Joshua, your thoughts on this fight?
I wouldn't bet on it myself because I think it's dodgy. Because if I was thinking in my head and I was betting on it, I'd bet AJ within 2 rounds and I'd put a lot of money on it. But I'm a gambling man, actually. I'm a gambling addict, and I need help. But yeah, I'm not even gambling on this one. I'm leaving it out.
How do you see it going?
Don't know, could go anyway, just because I just think it's a bit mad.
Did the press conference surprise you, how it seemed like a little tame, there wasn't much trash talk? AJ didn't seem like overly excited.
No, to be honest, I don't watch boxing presses normally, so I don't know if that's AJ's character, if he's just a humble guy in general. I feel like he probably is. I don't know though, do you know?
He's normally, he is, but I was surprised that Jake Paul didn't sort of try and play his mind games. Jake Paul was sort of playing nice almost in that presser, compared to how he compares against in other press conferences.
He's talking to a fucking proper fella, innit? If it was proper, he'd get weighed in, so I think even he's got a bit of, I don't know, just a bit of humility on that situation, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm a very confident guy, but if I was fighting someone who was better than me, like way better, like in a different league, I probably wouldn't be as much of a, I don't know, like if I was fighting someone like Mike Tyson in his prime, but if I was fighting someone in the modern day, like, I don't know, Tyson Fury or something, or Tommy Fury, whoever, like any of these pros, I'd be normal.
You'd be more humble.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be normal with them types of fellas, but Mike Tyson in his prime, I'd be a little bit humble, do you know what I mean?
Sparring footage of Jake Paul facing top heavyweights generated both excitement and debate online. Many viewers praise his performance, noting his ability to handle larger, skilled opponents. At the same time, some question whether certain knockdowns were genuine, sparking heated discussions on social media. Comments range from admiration for Paul's technical growth to skepticism about the authenticity of specific moments, highlighting the broader debate about his readiness for a top-tier heavyweight like Anthony Joshua. These sparring clips have become a key reference point for analyzing Paul's preparation and projecting how his progress might hold up against elite-level competition.
Anthony Joshua gets in the ring with YouTuber Jake Paul, and that's what he is, YouTuber Jake Paul. Would you watch it? Simon, before we take some calls, with this seemingly in the pipeline, can we safely say goodbye to Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury?
Well, I think it's done anyway, judging by the mood music that seems to be coming out from various camps. If you listen to Tyson Fury, he seems to be, despite the fact we've danced this dance before and walked this walk before, he seems to be talking in a very different way. There's no hyperbole. It's, I'm done. This is a younger man's game. I've done my bits. I'm at peace with where I am in life. I don't need boxing anymore. But not in the flash for cash way that Tyson often does it. In a more earnest way is my understanding of his sort of thought processes. So with that in mind, it almost feels that that's off the table anyway. Who knows? The draw of the enormous amounts of money that this one fight can generate. This is the one fight that can really get everybody paid. I mean, the two protagonists. Whatever Usyk takes, tragically for him, he wouldn't even get anywhere near as much money as potentially being offered for the Fury-Joshua fight.
What would earn AJ more of a pay packet? Fighting Fury or fighting Jake Paul?
Well, I would think...
That's a wrap for today's video. Make sure to stay tuned for more updates and analysis.